Okay. The website was down earlier yesterday and earlier today, so it's the first chance I'm getting to make this video. I had a request in the Discord to go over Take Profit. Take Profit's also a good one to break down because it is, in my opinion, it's one of the more advanced firms. Lots of payout potential. Lots of potential. Well, in terms of quantity, you can get paid out a lot, and you can also get paid out very quickly if you're trading well. Especially if you have multiple accounts, if you copy trade, if you don't. The daily payouts are really good. The only thing is it is an 80% split, which honestly isn't that big of a deal at this point. There's some good firms that do 80%, like My Fund of Futures. But Take Profit Trader is the number one for daily payouts. 100%. 100%. The other firms, My Fund of Futures is the closest with the rapid plan, and you can pass it more quickly than these because these require 5 days, whereas the rapid is only 2. So you could, in theory, get a payout on your 3rd day, as opposed to here you can get a payout on your 6th day. But Take Profit is going to be the tried and true for daily payouts. They also don't have a cap, I think. I think their cap's like 10K on the sim funded. But anyway, I just wanted to show that I have gotten payouts this year on this firm. I didn't prior to this year. I tried it a couple times, and this was when I was newer. And, I decided there's easier firms at the time. But I started running the 25Ks and the 150Ks, and these are some payouts from them. And I have one more on the way on Monday. So anyway, let's just break down how to kind of trade this. And we'll go from there. Not really sure why that's stuck there, but that's okay. All right, so the eval rules are 5 days minimum. Whatever your account size is, there's no daily loss limit. End of day drawdown, 50% consistency, and that's good. So pretty straightforward. I do actually like that they do a 5-day minimum because there's no reason to rush this thing. They also have cheap resets. I want to put that in there, especially if you're doing the 150. The 150K reset is like $100. I'm pretty sure, unless they've changed it. Let's also put no activation fee and always 40% off. So that's just their standard price. I'm not going to say like Apex does 90% off all the time. That's just their price. You'd never buy this at full price, obviously. What I think the best sizes are 25K, 50K, 150K. I think that these are the best values. 25K is the easiest challenge. Obviously, the lowest drawdown. 50K, let's just say it's good value because it's not that much more than the 25K and it's not that much harder. But you don't have that much more drawdown in the funded. So anyway, and then this is honestly great value, large account, difficult. So you really would not be doing the 150 unless you are going for it. Let's see. Okay. So the eval is pretty standard. I don't think I need to cover that too much. Take your time because these are really good accounts to have. And you do not want to be rushing the eval when you have to do 5 days anyway. Like, you don't need to do this in 2 days. There's no reason. Okay. Funded rules. is pretty much nothing. You have the buffer zone. Well, it's not nothing. Withdraw above buffer. Let's go 80% split. Okay. It's the drawdown is broken up into two pieces. Okay. Until buffer is passed, unrealized intraday trailing drawdown. Apex used to have this, not anymore. But what this basically means is if you have a trade that starts at 0 and it goes up to $500 of profit, and then you go break even on your stop loss and it comes back and goes break even, what the system registers is that you had $500 of profit, okay, because it's unrealized intraday. And if you started with, let's say, a 50K account, you had 2K drawdown allowed. Now you only have 15 or 1500, okay? Because you had an unrealized gain of 500. You didn't take it, you closed it for 0. So what does that do? That is the single hardest rule in the prop firms, which is why I make this such an advanced prop firm, because it has a lot of potential, but it also is very difficult. And I think that there's two ways to go about the funded. I don't know what other rules they have on here. I think that that's pretty much it. I mean, there's no 0% consistency, 0 minimum days. You can also close the account. I'm not sure if that's what I did there, because I'm not sure what I did there, or if that was just a normal payout. I honestly don't remember. You can also close the account inside of the buffer. So the buffer is just buffer equals allowed drawdown. So for 50K, it is 2K. For 25K, it is 1,500. For 150K, it's 4,500. Once you pass that, you can withdraw any amount of days that you want. So if you have a 25K, you make it to 15K, you make $300 the next day, you can withdraw that for 80% split, whatever that is. You make 700, you can withdraw that same day and then trade. They're not always as fast as some of the others about the payouts, which is a little bit frustrating because they're trying to be a daily payout thing. They don't always remove it in time for the market to open and stuff like that. So, you just have to be patient. But you can also close the account and you can withdraw 50% of the buffer, unless I think you have the account for like 60 days or something, then you can get 80% like normal. But anyway, there's two ways that I see how you can do the funded. Let's see. Two paths for funded, and they are as follows. Let's go like this. I don't know how to do this. Let's just go 1. Let's insert a column here. Okay. 1, base hits. You're going for small wins. If your drawdown is, let's go small size, trail stop aggressively, and fight for the buffer. This is basically what you're trying to do, is you're trying to battle the buffer to build up essentially a personal account. You're going to take base hits. If you're on a 50K, you have 2K, you might only be risking 50 to 100 and like per trade. And you're going 1-to-1, 2-to-1. You're using very small size, and you're going to trail your stop pretty aggressively because you don't want that unrealized to come bite you. So if you're going for $100, maybe you're moving your stop loss every time it goes up, whatever, $10, because you don't want to lose your drawdown, and you're basically just fighting. You're just fighting to get out of the buffer and get to the stage where you have an account that can do payouts. Um, this is really good for, especially if you're copy trading. This is really good for slowly getting there and, you know, not blowing the account, because these are easy to blow, very easy to blow, compared to many of the other offerings from other firms that don't have that rule. I will tell you why I'll go over the other option, and then I'll tell you why I prefer option 2 for me personally. Option 2 is just nuke the first trade. Full port or near full port, depending on the size and the volatility of the market. Like I wouldn't full port a 150K with 12 contracts. I might scale into it. I might pyramid, but I'm not just gonna like put on a 12 contract trade right away. With the 25Ks, I do. 25Ks, I put on 3 contracts, or 2, and aggressively add one if it goes in my favor, because I basically just see it as, okay, I have 25 points of drawdown available if I'm using 3 contracts, and I need 50 points to not only get through the buffer, and I'm talking about in queue, by the way, to not only get through the buffer, but get a payout on that first day too. So if I can take a 2-to-1 with 3 contracts, 50 points, risking 25 points, then I will secure a $1,500 payout, which is really what, a $1,200 payout for the 80% split. And then I have my full account still, and it's past the buffer. So next day I can take another trade of any size, 5 micros, 1 mini, 2 minis, whatever, and go for another payout. Or I can just close the account and take another 50% of that, whatever. This is, and I don't trail my stop at all. No trailed stop. It's basically, it's basically boom or bust. I'm a little OCD. I got to take this period out of there. Okay. Those are what I see the options to be. Obviously, option 2, very risky. You want to have a model that basically has, I don't even know how to explain it, like a propulsion attached to it. So for me, if I'm doing this, I only do this on Take Profit Trader. I'm taking an IFEG trade because usually that won't come back and stop me at break even. It will usually be a loss or a win. It's pretty rare that I go break even on those. And if it does go break even after going in my favor, 30, 40 points, whatever, then I've probably just gotten it wrong. And I'm okay with that. I prefer option 2 because it's immediate and you're going to get that payout or you're not, I do the eval in, 3 days normally, and then I'll flip a contract for the last 2 days, get the account, wait for a good setup, full port, go for it. That's what I do. I don't know if that's recommended for, I also have multiple firms that I'm trading on at any given time, anywhere from 3 to 6 firms at once. And I really don't love Take Profit because it's just, I like the idea of, if I'm in a good position, I can just hold it indefinitely and I can go break even. And worst case scenario, I'm losing out on a lot of unrealized profits. For Take Profit, it's just very difficult. So I'll pretty much go for that 2-to-1 and just secure the payout. Rarely do I hold past 2-to-1 for that first trade, but I prefer it because the first path here, these base hits, maybe if I was copy trading, but this is such a difficult rule to me, this unrealized intraday, that doing the base hits is almost like rolling a fucking ball up a hill, or the classic like boulder up a hill example, where this isn't really proper trading to just like, to me, maybe if you have a strategy that works for this, that's great. Um, but to me, trailing stop super aggressively, going for base hits, fighting an uphill battle, uh, it could take you a long time to get through the buffer. And then, you basically just have an account at that point that you could have gotten on like Lucid or My Fund Futures. Like if you're going to do this, you might as well just do Apex or Top Step or one of the other firms. I think Take Profit is the best for uh, you took a really good trade, you had a really good position that worked out with this rule, and you're getting an immediate payout. It is not an easy firm. Stay away from the 75K and the 100K. If you have any questions about why, I mean, it's basically just it's bad value. But I mean, I have no problem breaking that down if that's unclear to anybody. If you're very seasoned, you get payouts consistently, I would recommend going for this second path on the funded and just try to take your best setup. And for better or worse, you're either going to get a payout or you're going to lose the trade. And to me, that's a pretty good risk reward if you look at it like that. I would say that I could pass these evals, one in every 3 or 2 in every 5, maybe 3 in every 5 if it's going well, plus or minus. And to me, if I can get I would say that I have a 50% win rate on the second path. So, you know what I mean? When you do all those numbers, it's like, that's a profitable strategy at the end of the day. Sometimes it goes better and you get multiple, but like as you can see in February, we got, 4 payouts from here. I don't really remember what those were from. I think most of these were 25Ks. I don't know. The payout that I have on Monday is coming from a 25K. But yeah, so that is the full breakdown on Take Profit Trader. If there's any questions, let me know. Giveaways in the Discord for Lucid. We're doing 10 accounts a month, so definitely take advantage. I'm going to be breaking down every single firm this month. If not this week, it will be this month. But I wanted to start here because I was getting questions about this, and this is definitely one of the more specialty and advanced firms. So please enjoy.